People stay where they're treated and paid best. When an agency struggles to hire and retain, then the mission suffers. That's what we're witnessing at the Social Security Administration, where the backlog is growing not just by the thousands or the hundreds of thousands, but over 5 million cases. And almost half of the cases reviewed by OIG have been pending for over 500 days. That seems bad enough, especially if you're entitled to Social Security payments. Maybe you're getting the wrong amount. Maybe you're not even getting a payment at all. But it gets worse because as of this year, over $1 billion was given out in improper payments. Why is this happening? The SSA gives 3 reasons. Number 1, unexpected staff reductions. That's when people grab their stuff and they head for the door. The office tempo is intense. They can't handle the leadership. This is not what they signed up for, so they leave. They go to another federal agency or they just get back into the private sector. Second reason is increased backlogs. More and more people are eligible to receive benefits from Social Security. And it's not just your regular Social Security check, it's SSI. It's the disability payments. When it first came out in 1974, it was about 3 million people they were giving checks to. Now it's closer to 9 million. And you would think the agency has to grow to keep pace with all of these claims. But it hasn't been growing. Look at the chart. In over 20 years, the SSA's workforce has been pretty much flat. Now, the third reason is less overtime funding. This comes down to Congress allocating more money in the budget for SSA so they can authorize and pay overtime, so they can hire more people to staff a lot of the customer service representative positions so that people can actually interact with SSA and get their benefits on time in the accurate amount. But let's say we double the budget, right? Let's say we just give SSA all the money we can. Does that mean people are going to want to work there? That's the real question. We can see that in 2022, they lost about 1,000 employees suddenly. Then we see another big drop between 2010 and 2013. So what's happening? Is this a desirable place to work? Is this attracting high quality individuals that can actually get the job accomplished? Well, we look at the best places to work ranking, and SSA is dead last, 17 out of 17 for large federal agencies. It's been that way for years. And let's pinpoint the issues here. Number 1, the lowest area, employee input, recognition, and then it's followed by low pay and poor leadership. But that's just one website. Maybe all the federal employees that they surveyed that day, they were biased in one way or another. What's somewhere else that we can look? Let's go ahead and look on Glassdoor. We can see that SSA has a 2.9 out of 5-star rating from over 2,400 different reviews. So Glassdoor is usually used for the private sector, but a lot of agencies are ranked there as well. Most of these negative reviews, they're complaining about 2 things. They're complaining about the workload. They say it's unrealistic. And number 2, they're complaining about micromanagers. And then a lot of people feel like the agency is still stuck in the 1990s. When it comes to outdated technology, old computers, old processes, using paper entirely too much. Okay, if you are interested in federal government jobs, you should attend some of the virtual hiring events. Each and every week, I will email you directly all the hiring events happening in that week. Sign up to the free newsletter down below. Currently, there are over 1,000 SSA field offices located across the country. And as you can imagine, they're still hiring. On USAJobs.gov, if we filter by agency and we select the Social Security Administration, we can see that 15 open jobs are available right now. But that's not the full picture because SSA in reality right now, they're hiring hundreds of people. They just have 15 job announcements because some of these job announcements, they're open for 12 months and they're collecting hundreds of resumes. Periodically, they're assessing, identifying the right candidates, requesting interviews, and extending job offers. They're not wasting their time posting a whole bunch of job announcements, so you have to apply to the ones that are already up there. And if you look, they have one job announcement right here. This is for all disabled applicants. Are you disabled? Maybe you are, maybe you're not, maybe you have no clue. Because what you might consider disabled, the government may or may not consider it disabled. There are people who have ADHD, anxiety, and migraines. And because of those symptoms, they can go to a medical provider and they will sign what we call a Schedule A letter. That letter opens you up to another hiring path. So it's not traditional disability as in you have to be missing a limb or you have to be blind. It could be a lot of other things. It falls under physical, mental, or psychiatric. So if you're wondering whether or not you have a legitimate disability, schedule an appointment with your medical provider, bring the Schedule A letter. Okay, so the next job announcement we see, this one's open for all veterans. Surprisingly, there is some confusion on who is a veteran and who is not. So the main thing that you need here is 3 years active duty service. If you have 3 years in the military, it doesn't matter the branch, it could be the Navy, the Marines, the Army, 3 years active duty, that is what's gonna categorize you as a veteran. Now, there's a lot of different nuances to this because you could be a disabled veteran with under 3 years, you could deploy. The best thing to do is go to OPM website, look through the Feds Hire Vets, and it'll explain each and every category for you. So it's clear SSA is prioritizing disabled, and they're also prioritizing veterans. But what if you're neither? What if you're a US citizen, you have some education, you have some experience, and you want to go into this agency? What are you going to do then? In that case, you could be eligible for something like this. This is a contact representative. It's a direct hire position. This is an entry-level position that most people are qualified for, but it doesn't pay very much. The salary range here is between $40,000 and $65,000 a year. It's graded at GS5 to GS7. A job like this, they want you to have 1 year of experience dealing with legal paperwork and customer service. Face-to-face customer interaction or being a customer service representative over the phone, that type of experience, that's going to qualify you for something like this. Quite a few people, they understand SSA is not desirable, so that means it could be less competitive. So if you're trying to get into the federal government, some people actually choose SSA. And there's nothing saying that once you start, you have to stay. You can be there for 12, 18, 24 months, make a pivot, and then jump into another agency because SSA, almost all their employees, it's under the competitive service. Makes it easier to jump around to different agencies than if you're in the accepted service where you're kind of more pigeonholed into that one area. If you want to submit a job application to the SSA or any other federal agency, you need to improve on your resume. One of the main reasons I like to bring up SSA and I bring up USPS is because no matter where you're at, there's an opportunity somewhere near you. Not everybody's in Washington, D.C. or Chicago or California. So there are opportunities in more rural areas, but you have to look and see where is my nearest USPS office or the nearest SSA office, and then consider those positions. When you're looking at your resume, I want you to ask yourself one question. Why should the hiring manager interview you? Does your resume do a good job in communicating the reasons why they should interview you? Remember, they don't know who you are. So that first page, it needs to be compelling, it should be exciting, it should be relevant, an achievement showcasing your skills and experience. That is the best advocate to get you the interview. If you're looking at the first page and it's just fluff, that's what the hiring manager is going to see. Why would they want to interview fluff? Your good stuff in your resume is on page 3. Your golden nuggets of experience, it's on page 3 and 4. And the hiring manager doesn't even get to page 3. So you don't get called in for the interview. So think about that. Spend time on that first page and craft those achievements in a compelling way. I've done plenty of videos that speak to that. And if you're new to the federal government job application process, probably have a lot of questions. I did a live stream recently, and I talk about resumes. I talk about the federal hiring process. I talk about USAJobs.gov. A lot of the questions I answer, they could be on your mind. If you're interested in that, I want you to watch this video next. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.